You walk into a room and completely blank on why you're there. You spend 10 minutes looking for your keys while they're in your hand. You forget your coworker's name mid-conversation, even though you've worked together for 2 years. And everyone tells you the same bullshit. Oh, you're just getting older. Or, you need to be more mindful. Here's what nobody's telling you. Your memory isn't broken. You're not developing early dementia, and this isn't about age or focus. What's actually happening is way more sinister and way more fixable than anyone wants to admit. Your brain is literally protecting itself from something that's slowly killing your cognitive function, and most guys our age have no idea it's even happening. I figured this out when I started forgetting basic stuff at 28 and thought I was losing my mind. Cognitive overload is silently crippling you. Look, if you're between 25 and 40, working a demanding job, trying to stay fit, maintain relationships, and not completely lose your shit in this economy, your brain is running a background program you don't even know exists. It's called cognitive load management, and it's basically your brain's emergency protocol when it's overwhelmed and drowning in information. Imagine your phone running 50 apps at once. Eventually, it slows down, freezes, or starts shutting things down to keep functioning. Your brain does the same thing. Except instead of closing apps, it starts deprioritizing what it views as non-essential information. That random meeting you completely blanked on? Non-essential. Your anniversary. Apparently non-essential. Where you left your wallet. Your brain decided it wasn't worth the energy cost to store it. It's not carelessness. It's triage. And here's the twisted part. Most productivity advice makes it even worse. Just write everything down. Use more apps. Set more reminders. Try harder to focus. All of these well-meaning hacks actually add more cognitive load. It's like trying to fix a traffic jam by adding more cars to the road. You're stacking task on top of task, decision on top of decision, until your brain simply can't keep up. But here's what nobody tells you. This isn't just a personal issue. It's a generational crisis. An entire generation of guys is quietly drowning in mental overload, thinking they're individually broken. You're not. The system we live in was never designed for human brains. It's optimized for machines, algorithms, and endless stimulation. And unless you learn to work with your brain's limits, not against them, this overload will keep stealing your ability to function. Remember, and stay sane. 35,000 decisions are killing your memory. Here's what's really happening. Your brain operates on what researchers call attention residue. Every decision you make, every notification you check, every task you juggle, leaves behind a tiny mental residue. It's like running your laptop with 47 browser tabs open. Eventually, everything slows down, crashes, or becomes unresponsive. And most of us are running that way 24/7. Studies show that the average knowledge worker makes around 35,000 decisions per day. 35,000. Compare that to your ancestors, who made maybe a few dozen truly meaningful choices daily. Your brain simply hasn't evolved to process this volume of constant micro-decisions. So it adapts by filtering. It starts prioritizing what it believes is essential for immediate survival and letting go of everything else. That meeting you forgot? Triage. Your wallet? Triage. The conversation you barely remember from yesterday? Triage. But here's the kicker. Decision fatigue doesn't just accumulate, it compounds. By the time you hit mid-afternoon, your brain is running on fumes. That's why you remember details from the morning but can't recall what you had for lunch. Your brain had already entered energy-saving mode and started cutting corners on memory encoding. The more choices you face, the faster this exhaustion kicks in. What makes this worse is that modern life is engineered to exploit this flaw. Every app notification, every endless choice at the grocery store, every quick question at work is deliberately designed to steal a slice of your cognitive bandwidth. You're constantly switching tasks, evaluating options, and managing micro-decisions. This non-stop cognitive triage leaves very little room for your brain to store or process meaningful information. And the scariest part? Most people don't realize it's happening. We blame ourselves, thinking we're lazy, careless, or losing our minds, when in reality, our brains are simply doing their best to survive a world they were never built for. The day I forgot my own birthday. I realized how bad this had gotten when I completely forgot my own birthday. Not like, oh, it slipped my mind for a second. I genuinely had no idea what day it was until someone reminded me. That moment hit me like a brick. I wasn't some elderly person struggling with memory loss. I was a 28-year-old guy who had spent years trying to optimize every aspect of my life. And somehow, my brain had just stopped keeping track of things that weren't immediately urgent. But the breaking point came when I forgot to pick up my ex-girlfriend from the airport. Not because I didn't care. I had mentally noted it 3 days earlier. But when the day arrived, it was like my brain had filed it under already handled and moved on. The worst part, this wasn't an isolated event. I was becoming so efficient at juggling everything that I'd forget I was even juggling. That's when I had to confront the hard truth. My problem wasn't memory. My problem was that I was treating my brain like a machine, expecting it to process endless tasks, decisions, and responsibilities without ever needing rest or routine. But the brain doesn't work that way. It's not a computer that can just be upgraded for more processing power. It's a biological system designed for patterns, repetition, and recovery. In my obsession with productivity, I was drowning myself, and my brain, in pure survival mode, was throwing information overboard just to keep me functioning. Important dates, conversations, tasks, all sacrificed because I had pushed myself into cognitive overload. Once I saw it for what it really was, everything started to make sense. I wasn't failing. My brain was protecting me from me. 3 simple hacks to save your brain. Here's what actually works, and it's simpler than you think. First, stop trying to remember everything. Your brain is not a hard drive, and treating it like one only makes things worse. Instead, pick 3 things each day that truly matter. Write them down. Let everything else live in your calendar, your notes app, or simply let it go. This isn't laziness, it's strategy. You're giving your brain permission to focus on what actually deserves its limited processing power. Second, create what I call cognitive containers. These are fixed routines that run on autopilot. Same breakfast every morning, same route to work, same wind-down routine before bed. Routines free up mental bandwidth by eliminating unnecessary decisions. Every decision you don't have to make is one more drop of energy saved for things that actually matter. Your brain loves patterns, give it some. Third, and this one is critical, protect your brain's encoding windows. These are the first 2 hours after waking up and the last hour before bed. These windows are when your brain is most effective at processing, organizing, and storing information. During these times, avoid phones, avoid making big decisions, avoid cramming more information into your head. Let your brain do what it's designed to do. Consolidate memories and recharge. Fourth, limit micro decisions wherever possible. Pick one outfit formula for work. Meal prep your lunches. Use default choices for recurring tasks. The fewer choices you force your brain to make on autopilot, the more power it has for complex thinking and creativity when it counts. Finally, and maybe most importantly, forgive yourself for being human. You are not broken. Your brain isn't malfunctioning. It's simply responding to an impossible workload that modern life dumps on it every single day. The solution isn't to push harder, it's to push smarter. When you work with your brain's natural design instead of against it, everything starts to feel lighter, clearer, and more manageable. You're not broken, you're not just overloaded. Look, you're not stupid. Your brain is actually working perfectly. It's just working in survival mode instead of optimization mode. The difference between guys who seem to have their shit together and guys who feel like they're constantly forgetting everything isn't intelligence or discipline. It's understanding how their brain actually works and working with it instead of against it. I want you to try one thing this week. Pick one routine that you can put on autopilot. Maybe it's always putting your keys in the same spot or always writing tomorrow's priorities tonight. Just one thing. Let your brain learn that this is handled so it can focus on what actually needs your attention. And honestly, if this hits home, send it to that friend who's always looking for his sunglasses while they're on his head. We're all just figuring this out together. Drop a comment about the dumbest thing you've forgotten recently. I'll go first. I once spent 20 minutes looking for my phone while using its flashlight. We're all human, man.